Gemini, hi, Ali from Indigo Ascension. Welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, please do go ahead and check out the description box below where you will find links to my website and my Facebook page and a little further detail about the work that I do as an intuitive energy healer and reader. On the channel, you'll find fortnightly and monthly readings dedicated to empaths, intuitives and sensitives, those that identify that they're on the awakening path. And new and only on Instagram, you'll see weekly quick reads as a quick energy check-in for all the zodiacs if you wanted to go ahead and check out my Instagram page. Okay, let's take a look and do a cosmic recap. We're smack bang in the middle of planetary retrogrades. We have a total of 6 this month, Gemini. 5 more accurately because there's only a 2-day window when one leaves retrograde, another one begins. Now, we're in the middle of an ecliptical, I was going to call it a warp. It is a bit of a time warp. We're in a juncture, okay, between the full moon lunar eclipse that was in Sagittarius at the beginning of June and also the new moon solar eclipse that will be happening within the week, okay? Sorry, it's a new moon and solar eclipse in Cancer, I should say. We've also got Mercury going retrograde in Cancer, and we have Neptune hitting retrograde as well. Now, that retrograde theme with all 5 planets in retrograde, we're really wanting an out now. We've been spending since April really going within, determining what our love language is, what connection means to us, what we've learned in the realms of intimacy and love and connection. And that doesn't just have to happen on romantic relationships, it happens in all love relationships and connections. How we share space, how we share self, how we connect to self, yeah, and how that is ultimately mirrored in the other. We're looking at the rules and boundaries thanks to Saturn going into retrograde, how we deal with opportunity, growth and expansion in these areas thanks to Jupiter. And like I said earlier, there's a very big love focus with Venus going into retrograde, you know, and now with Mercury going into retrograde, we're wanting this out. We're wanting to talk about all this introspective energy that's been happening, a lot of introspective healing that's been happening for a lot of us. And specifically too, you know, with this new ecliptical cycle, Cancer and Capricorn are finishing their ecliptical cycle, Gemini, of the last 2 years. We're now moving into the Gemini Sagittarius ecliptical cycle that kicked off at the beginning of this month. Very much a transitionary changing of the guards energy. And with the Sun, Quincunx, Pluto and Jupiter, this energy needs to come out. These frustrations, this fear versus love energy, this freedom versus oppression energy, you know, we're wanting new but still stuck in the old in many ways, and we're feeling the frustrations of the energy in between. So we'll see those energies permeate across, you know, our realities within our personal lives. We'll see that happening on the global front, that energy. So experiencing energy doesn't have to be reflected in detail. It can be just an essence that we experience. And this is what the planets are offering us. It's offering us an opportunity to balance the disharmony. It's offering us an opportunity to do things completely differently. And more importantly, to find connectivity in the differences. That's what we're going to be noticing towards the end of the month. So the final 2 weeks of June are a beautiful plateauing, okay? A standpoint, a grounding point, if you like, Sagittarius. I mean, did I just call you Sagittarius a couple of times? Gemini, maybe you're connecting into a Saggy. You know, it's offering us a beautiful grounding part of the journey where we can start to receive and get to some point of equilibrium, okay, to determine next steps. But let's take a look at what your themes are, my lovely gems, as we head towards the solar eclipse in Cancer. A lot of nurture energy with Cancer leading the solar eclipse and also this new moon and Mercury retrograde, okay? We're halting, we're reviewing, we're eclipsing in a very nurturing way, and most prominently speaking, it is about the way in which we nurture self and others, okay? Soul Journey has come up for you today, my lovely Gemini. Soul Journey card. This deck is by Denise Jarvie. It's a Secret Language of Light activation cards. I'm definitely connecting into many Geminis that are reviewing their journey to date. And like I mentioned, with this retrograde energy that's permeating the cosmos for us all. We're reviewing a lot of the past in many ways, the ways in which we've connected, loved, lost, taken opportunity, denied ourselves of it. We're really looking at the rules and boundaries we've lived by, okay, allowed ourselves to live by based on what was normal, what was done, what is and isn't okay, if you like. But more importantly still, we're refreshing and resetting from that, Gemini. The soul journey has shown up for you today. Number 9 is a completion number. It's a closing of a chapter in many ways. It's a closing of a journey. It's a closing of a significant relationship, a significant aspect of your experience. It's definitely a review at all the different closures in your life if you haven't closed off certain experiences. And many of us don't know this, but subconsciously, and that's the role of Pluto going into retrograde, is to rise into our awareness. Things that we're subconsciously influenced by and perhaps don't know that we are consciously. Our fears, our blocks, our drives, you know, about any number of things. But let's see what tarot cards want to pop up for you today, my lovely Geminis. Soul journey. So many of the zodiacs are in this in-between stage, this review stage. So connecting to that image. Comment below, let me know what it means for you. Alright, let's take a look at what cards want to come up for you. The 10 of Pentacles, it can definitely be in relation to marriage, it can definitely be in relation to family. The 10 of Coins is the dynasty, okay? This is the permanency of our life, and it's the practical relationships, practical realities of our life that have been there for a long time, that we want to be there for a long time, okay? Traditionally, the 10 of Coins does represent, like I said, it's marriage, it's commitment, it's family, the long-term plan, and many Geminis are perhaps walking away from heavy emotions tied to that. The 8 of Cups suggests it is time to let emotions go that have long been stagnant in relation to our beliefs around marriage, our beliefs and connections within family, okay? The ways in which we've done everything in the realms of connection, love, learning. In the past, you've got the Sun card, a lot of clarity. Above you is the 2 of Wands. Below this is the Chariot. There are opportunities to move forward. What's likely to happen next is the Page of Cups. Influential energies is the 3 of Swords, Justice, the Ace of Swords, and the Magician. Wow, you really are cutting away the old. Underneath all this is the World. You're ending a cycle here, definitely, Gemini, okay? You've got the Soul Journey card as your theme, numbered 9, okay? You've also got the World card underneath all of this as the influencing card. All right, let's take a look. In the recent past, you've got the Sun, which provides sudden clarity. It's life-affirming energy, okay? The Sun shines a bright light that we can't miss. We can't miss the issue. We cannot miss the underlying need, the underlying cause, the underlying reasons, our motivations, that of others, okay? There is blinding truth and clarity. You've also got the Ace of Swords in your spread, so there is something here that has come into your awareness, a sudden realization about self, sudden realization about patterning, a sudden realization about that which holds you back from true connectivity, sudden realization about the heavier and denser emotions, if you like, when it comes to family, family binds, your experiences of marriage and commitment and long-term plans. Also, before we make any long-term plans, there's a big need here, Gemini, to release the density, the heaviness of old emotions. Something didn't quite work out, okay, the way in which we wanted it to. I'm definitely connecting into Geminis that have been influenced quite heavily in their emotional body by the recent full moon eclipse in Sagittarius, okay? And this will plateau out into an emotional release by the new moon solar eclipse in Cancer, okay? Especially that Cancer rules the emotional body, all right? You will notice a significant lift and release, and that at least is an opportunity that you can work with. I'm certainly feeling that this is tying more into commitment, marriage, family, or a relationship that feels like that type of energy, okay? Because below this, you've got the Chariot, okay? So there's fast-moving energy here. I'm connecting into many Geminis that are wanting forward momentum. Someone around you, this situation is wanting forward momentum. It's wanting growth. It's wanting clarity. It's now being activated by the life force of the sun. So there is all systems go and there is no stopping this thing. Perhaps the only time in which we're going to feel stuck or stagnant is if we're holding on to old emotions tied into this, Gemini. Okay, above this is the Two of Wands. There's an opportunity here for a new beginning, a new chapter. However, in that in-between stage, when we know a door is closing, an old version of ourselves, an old experience, an old life, an old relationship, whatever the case may be, it can get quite uncomfortable before the next door opens. As human beings, we can get comfortable in the comfort blanket that is the known, even if the known is no good for us or is outdated or we've outgrown it in one way or another. Even if we're wanting something new, that uncertainty, the transitionary period between the then and will be, is always going to be quite uncomfortable for the human psyche. That's the gift of the Two of Wands. It's asking us to trust in the unseen. We cannot see the physical manifestation yet, because that's what the Three of Wands delivers us, a physical evidence of the manifestation. This is purely the magic of trust in new beginnings, and it's asking you to stand there empowered, given that it's the Two of Wands. You know, he's holding a globe and he's looking out to sea. Like, what will the sea bring in? What will I gift the sea? What will this day bring? What will the next day bring? What will this next chapter bring? This is an invitation to stand there empowered with excitement on some level, even though life can feel like it's rushing forward too quickly. I do want to say that the month of July, or perhaps a Cancer, is significant in this story, all right? But like I said earlier, I was picking up on that Cancer solar eclipse and Cancer new moon is going to be of great assistance for you to really release the denser and heavier emotions connected to this, okay? What's likely to happen next is the Page of Cups. Now, the Page of Cups, yes, it talks about an apology. It is a youthful expression of heartfelt intentions, okay? So we're coming from the heart here. Before we can really come from the heart, we need to release the old emotions that are getting in the way, okay? The old ways in which we've held our emotions, the old ways in which we've chosen to feel, experience love, whatever the case may be, connection. I'm feeling a heavy disconnection, but a desire to connect here. Not only are we going to have to let some old stuff go, and I know that's easy as an outsider to say that, but we're also going to perhaps open ourselves up to an apology, whether that is extended by us or extended to us. There is a heartfelt desire to extend an extension of our heart energy, all right? So that can traditionally be an apology. It can be just, this is what I want moving forward, okay? This is where I'm at. The influences at play are the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords talks about heartbreak, betrayal, truth, sudden realizations, okay? We're really struggling to mend and blend heart and head here, okay? The Three of Swords is trying, as definitely, the swords have pierced the heart, and it's this cognitive dissonance smashed in with our emotional body that we can find it extremely difficult to come to some level of greater awareness or clarity, if you like, especially when emotions are at play, Gemini. And this is the energy of the Three of Swords. Maybe the last 3 years as a time marker is significant for you in many ways in relation to this next level, this in-between, that energy that you're finding yourself in. There is endings, there is a guarantee ending of a cycle, a chapter, relationship, whatever the case may be, okay? Karmic justice, the world, the Ace of Swords, these three speak particularly of endings. There is a karmic balancing, a chapter, a version of your world, a way in which you experience the world is ending. You're getting clear, you're cutting away, something is being cut away. There is clarity here about heartbreak. There is clarity here, and it may be heartbreaking. There's a separation here that may be heartbreaking, okay? There is an ending here and a leveling up. Karma is balancing, all right, when the Justice card shows up. What's likely to happen next is an amazing gift of manifestation energy. On some level, Gemini, all of us, as we journey down our soul path, have manifested everything that's ever happened to us and will happen to us. Okay, because on a soul level, we're asking for greater growth. We're asking for clarity around things like love. We're asking for clarity when it comes to things like authentic expression of self, authentically experiencing connection with another. Whatever is not aligning to authenticity and truth, because that's what this is about. It's about honesty. Okay? There is now a lot of clarity and an ending and a clearing of karma about something that wasn't quite clear before. Okay? Justice rules in your favor as well when the karmic balancing card of justice shows up. Okay, so that could be legal proceedings. It can be an ending, you know, gaining clarity, speaking truth. Okay, ending your reading with the Magician card is an amazing way in which to stand empowered in self. With all this sudden realization, with these endings, with this release of heavier emotions and being able to walk away. Okay, that's what the Eight of Cups is asking us, to walk away from a marriage, a commitment, a family, whatever the case is, a way in which the family connects, an old way of doing things, an old experience. With this walking away, we're allowing ourselves, with this clarity, with this clearing, with this truth-telling, with this leveling up, okay, with this cutting away, we then invite space to completely draw forth what and who is meant to be in our path and on our path with us. That has been the purpose of this, Gemini, because you end the reading with the Magician card. You are now free to draw everything forward that is rightfully yours and divinely connected to your growth. The Magician has everything he needs on the table. He has a cup, he has a coin, he has a sword, he has a wand. He is connected to the heavens and earth, and he is connected to 5D and 3D, and he is bringing this forth. But perhaps he didn't have technically everything he needed to be able to do this, activate this energy, because he was still holding yesterday's lessons, yesterday's relationships, yesterday's circumstances. Whatever it is that has been cut here, Gemini, has had to be cut, has had to be cleared from your life. It was an old way of doing things, an old way of connecting, an old relationship that has served its purpose. And it was getting in the way. So emotionally holding space, mentally holding space, fills our arms so that we are then prevented from drawing forth any new. And then in that space, we become stagnant, yeah? There's a cycle here that's wanting to close. It's wanting to level up. And it was time to release it so that you can rightfully draw forth everything and anyone that is meant to be aligned to you at this time. Experiences, careers, jobs, projects, people, connections, homes to live in, whatever the case is, okay, you are now free to draw that forth. What a great final 2 weeks. It's heavy, I won't lie, but it's an amazing karmically balancing 2 weeks that probably goes back as far as, you know, the last 1 to 3 years has been highly significant in many ways, Gemini, okay? You've got the World card under the deck. No more juggling, okay? The Two of Coins has shown up and asked, no more juggling. It is time to close a chapter. It's time to close a version of yourself, a way of doing, being, connecting, whatever the case is, a relationship. There is no more investing 1 foot in the back, 1 foot in the front. It's time to stand empowered. You know, the Magician stands, look at this picture. The Magician stands front and center, okay? There's no 1 foot in the past, 1 foot in the maybe future. The Magician stands empowered in the here and now and knows exactly what he wants to call forward for his experience moving here on in. Expect a lot of communications, okay? The Eight of Wands shows up. There's a lot of online communications. There's a lot of drawing forth of energy, like especially that I'm looking at this Magician card. Once you choose to no longer invest in this juggling energy, thanks to the Two of Coins, which is what that is. What do I invest in? Who do I invest in? How do I best move forward? No more juggling, okay? Once you choose not to do this anymore, expect fast-moving energy, which is amplified by the Chariot here. Okay, a lot of communications, a lot of energy moving forward towards you. You could even call this the falling in love card. Falling in love with life again, my path, my purpose, the new connections I'm drawing forward, okay, the new experiences I am manifesting into my life, this new relationship I have with my emotions, more importantly, okay? A King of Wands energy might be relevant to you. You might be connecting in to an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius, okay? But this is about an action energy with the masculine energy showing up. The King, as opposed to the Queen, is an action energy, okay? It is about acting on our desires, acting on our passions, acting on our confidence, okay? The Wands rule confidence, creativity, passion, passion for path, excitement for life again, connection, whatever the case may be. We are now free to act. Because we were stagnant before. There was something here that had to be let go, a way of being, doing, living, loving. Expect some news about a new beginning. Okay? Let's take a look and see what the Oracle of the Unicorns want to also tell you, my lovely Geminis. And finish off with an Oracle card. I'm going to take the top one. There's two that actually I'll read both of them. Gemini, they probably both wanted to come out for you. Beloved, prepare for your life partner. Romance is returning to your relationships. Believe that you are lovable. Definitely talking to Geminis that are ending things here in the realms of love, okay? But trust that every connection that comes into our path has been of purpose, and that all that, you know, and freeing up this space obviously makes the room, allows for room to make manifest those connections that are meant to be aligned to the next level of ourselves. And that's the most important thing here. There's a chapter of your life, a version of yourself, a world, okay, a dimension, whatever the case may be, is ending. And with that goes the connections that were aligned to it, because we were meant to be vibrating at that level at that time with those souls that came into our life. If you haven't already, go and check out a book called The Celestine Prophecy, which is essentially about that. We are all on this ascension path. We're all on this journey, this awakening, this growth. We can't necessarily grow if we're standing in the same spot. The same thing goes for classrooms and schools. We're always graduating so that we can go to that next level of our experience, that next level of our learning. Chapters close, relationships ends for that very same reason, Gemini. Versions of ourselves and must be grieved in the ascension process, you know, so that we can awaken to the new and meet ourselves where we're meant to be. Flow, find an easier path forward. Surrender the outcome and release your expectations. Go with the flow, less control. Control is merely but a safety mechanism to determine exactly if I'm going to be safe with this the new reality trying to come through. What's that going to look like? Who's going to be in it? What do I need to get me there? You know, when we trust in the flow, we're actually flowing with the energy. You've got some beautiful, encouraging, fast-moving energy thanks to the Chariot and the Eight of Wands that decided to show up. But it's not about controlling that process. It's about enjoying the journey and enjoying the flow, because it's within that we can naturally move with the natural rhythms and cycles of life and the cosmos. Okay, my lovely Geminis, go with the flow. You are calling forth and manifesting everything and everyone that is meant to now meet you where you will be. Okay, another chapter, a new journey, a new experience, a new connection, a new experience in your career path is trying to call to you. But first, we must let go of the old. Okay, soul journey is about enjoying the journey, yeah? The sunsets can be just as beautiful as the sunrises. All right, my lovely Geminis, I hope you have found resonance in this reading. If so, leave a message below. If you haven't already, like, share, subscribe, and be sure to check out the Instagram page for your weekly energy quick reads, okay? Enjoy the final 2 weeks of June, Gemini. I'll see you for your July readings next month. Namaste.